Okay, we're going to review another product here for case trimming. It's the Lee Quick Trim case trimming system. I didn't really quite know what this was. Midway had a sale and they were selling quick trim dies. Okay, I thought it was like a file trim die or something, and I bought the die, but I didn't realize that this system, you get an individual die for the caliber, but you need another component which comes here. So in a way, you have to buy the one component, the handle and the trimmer, and then each specific caliber comes with a die. That's about the only downside about this. I forget what it costs. I think the die was on sale. I got it for under $10 on Midway. And the quick trim handle, I don't really know what I forgot what I paid for it. Not quite prepared, but to do this video correctly. But I guess compared to buying, I did the Lyman hand trimmer, and I have a Hornady Case Prep Center, which is a motorized trimmer and has all kinds of different features and components. The only thing I didn't know about the Hornady thing is you have to use it with Hornady shell holders, which meant I'd have to buy a whole bunch of shell holders to use it. I went and modified the piece that goes in to lock it down, and then by doing that, it doesn't quite hold it correctly and the cases spin. So I'm going to have to get another part and then invest in the shell holders to use it. The thing about the Hornady is nice. It's a pretty solid machine, but I found that also if you bear down on it a little too much, it will take a few extra thousandths off. So I was looking for something that was quick, easy, and in a caliber that I was going to use a lot of. Like when I load 45 Colt or pistol ammo, any pistol ammo, 38 Special, I'll do, you know, anywhere from 300 to 500 at a time. So it's a lot of cases to trim. And there's a lot of companies that make motorized trimmers now. Lyman does, and I think RCBS and that. And they're quite expensive. This here wasn't that expensive, I don't believe. Like I said, I got the die for under $10 on sale, and I don't think I spent less than $20 on this. So we're going to take a look at it, and I just set it up and used it, and there's some features about it I like. It is kind of convenient and quick, but let me adjust the camera and we'll take a look at the components. Okay, it's difficult setting this up where you can see my face and look at the thing when I zoom in. Alright, so here's the main component, this handle. This is, I guess, a universal thing that works for all of them. And then you buy individual dies, like this here is for the 45 Colt. Okay, your individual dies, pistol and rifle. I guess these things are set right for, you know, each case specific. So there's like a collet in here that grabs the case. And basically it's all it is this little collet loaded die. I also have one for 4570, which is a little different. The rifle ones are different than the pistol ones. But we'll go over what we're going to use today, the pistol one. So basically, there's your little die. So you have the trim die. And I didn't understand that you have to buy this handle set to go with it. And this comes in a box, has all the instructions in here. You get the instructions, you get the universal trimmer, and you get a little plastic tray, chip pan, catch the chips. And basically all it is a handle and this device in there, okay, it's spring loaded, it's mounted in there, and it goes down and it does both. It kind of chamfers the inside, and that's your tool that cuts it there. So this is like a universal thing. It handles all kinds of different calibers. There's a little, the there's a ring here that'll click 10 times, it says in the instructions. I got it backed all the way clockwise, so this should be the trim to length. Now if you want, you have 10 clicks, and I tried it, like 2 or 3 clicks does take a thousandths more off the length. So you can adjust this slightly, about 5 thousandths worth of play one way or the other in adjusting this. How this works is this goes into the collet, and it tells you not to turn this if there's nothing in there. So this goes into the collet like this, and then I'll set your length, and then you twist it and it trims the case. Okay, so those are your components for what we have here. It's pretty simple. You know, the instructions are there, shows you how to set it up, explains all the components. Take a look at the instructions. Where's my zoom? There we go. Shows you all the components. And again, simple basic instructions on how to set up the whole thing. And this does kind of work. It works good, and it fills a niche for me for quick, convenient trimming. So now we're going to go over to the loading bench and we're going to set it up. Okay, we got our standard press here, and the first thing we're going to do, I'll zoom in as best I can, is you just place in the proper shell holder, and you just drop this chip pan, just slides right over that, like that. So that gets your chip pan and shell holder, and that's going to catch your brass chips. Now I'm going to reposition the camera, and we're going to set the die. Okay, now a pistol die basically just has this collar here. Okay, the rifle dies will have some sort of lock ring. It's a little bit different, but the instructions say for a pistol die, you just screw the die down in, until it hits that knurled ring. Like that. You just turn it right in. So that's it. That's all you got to do. And it's pretty simple in how it works. Is you put a case. Now the other thing is, this is where the handle just drops down in here, like this. Don't turn the handle with nothing in the die. It'll damage your cutter. So then what you do is you put a case down in the shell holder, and you run it up into the die, and then just, you recommend that you hold down on the lever. Okay? So let me try to do this to show you. Run the lever down, and then with one hand put pressure on it, so there's, not a huge amount, but so there's pressure on it there. Okay, so when we do this, then adjust again. And you just take your unit, like this, place it inside that die, and you see it spring loaded. Placing my hand down on there, just put your palm down and turn it about 5 turns, like that. And then take out your case. As you can see, it trims the end of that. Now, trim to length on the Colt, 45 long Colt, some of the load manuals say it's 1 inch 280 thousandths is the trim to length. 1 inch 285 is the maximum length. This is trimming this set up to its highest setting, 1 inch 282, which is great. But the thing about this, as I use it, I'll get back a little farther and show you. Now that you've seen the detail of it, I'll show you how I use it. It's quick and it's really consistent. Okay, I'll run some cases through here. Myself, I found that it only varies anywhere from 1/2 to 1/1000th in the case's length. So it's pretty consistent in that respect. And for me, like to go through 300-400 of these cases, it is a little bit quicker. It is a little more convenient. I'll probably have to run a deburr tool over them when I'm done. But as you can see, it's pretty easy. And I was keeping up with it. You know, I was measuring each one. And I only found a 1/1000th variance in it. So this is a pretty good alternative method for trimming your cases. I kind of like this. I like the fact of the consistency, because even with the other handheld ones, you put a little too much pressure, or even on the Hornady one, if you are not consistent or lean down a little too much on the handle, you can take an extra 2-3 thousandths off. You get variances depending on your feel, you know. This here, it's pretty foolproof in a way. So I kind of like this. This is something different. The only downside to this is you have to buy a die for each caliber. But if you only do a few calibers, yeah, that's it, 10,000. Not all of them. They're all 1 inch, 270, 278, 277. They're all right underneath 2 thousandths under that 1 inch, 280. So like I said, what I like about this is it really holds everything within 1/1000ths when I do the trimming. And I guess if you get a technique down, I'm trying to show you on the camera, it'll be pretty quick going. I should have a few hundred of these done here in the afternoon. And then all my cases are within 1/1000ths lengthwise. So I kind of like this. You know, like I said, the only thing about it is you have to buy a specific die for each caliber. But I found that this is a lot more consistent on the length and easier to control than other trimmers. At least, you know, at least that's my opinion. People can disagree or feel better with something else, it's fine. But there you go, that's it, another tool. I'm glad I got it, I'm going to use it.